Good evening. Washington says not so fast, weed boy, to a 70-year-old farmer from Washington State. Putin continues to build his empire and his resume now. Politicians continue to push people around the country here. And Clay Aiken, he's the man in North Carolina. Yeah, his opponent died, but he got voted in for the Democratic nomination. These stories and Smarmy's Eye on the World, Darren's movie review, John Rice updates us on the gaming situation, Dave and Ron Morrow will give us their Mystic Minute, Tony Viejo's back and doing another one of his misled thoughts, as well as an interview with a very special guest, and viewer mail. We'll all be here tonight for that. Thank you for tuning in. This is I'm Only Serious News Network's Sunday paper program.
It's the I'm Only Serious News Network with Dan Mahan, John Smarmy, John Rice, Tony Viejo, Dave Morrow, and Darren Martinez.
Oh, there you go. I'm looking on the right side there.
Yes, that's how this happens.
Oh, those Ruskies. After messing around and taking Crimea from the Ukrainian people, they're now pushing for independence votes across eastern Ukraine. Of course, old Putin says he has nothing to do with it. His hands are tied. But apparently there's no mirrors there in Russia, since they themselves have done it before with different satellite states that they just didn't want to leave just yet. But speaking of Putin, he has now added prolific score to his resume. A prolific score in ice hockey. Of course, his other part of his bios are, wrestling a bear, riding a horse with no shirt on, But recently he was playing in an all-star game over in Russia where he scored 12 goals. Yeah, not bad for a first professional game, Mr. Putin. Yeah. Apparently, the penalty box had a guy with a gun in it, so nobody really checked him. That's what happened there. But in the U.S., in the state of Washington, a 70-year-old man, a state, mind you, that allows medical marijuana and is close to instituting their own marijuana for recreational use for adults. But before they get to that stage, they thought it'd be a good idea to put away a 70-year-old man who is a prescribed medical marijuana, lives up in the mountains, and has a 70-acre ranch which he grows some marijuana on. 70 plants they found. That's a lot of 70s. There's something to be connected there. But 70 plants they found, folks. And now this guy, as well as a family friend, 3 of his relatives and a family friend, face a mandatory minimum 10-year sentence in federal prison. Can you, Cracker, please tell me what's going on up there? Let's see. The reason for the extended sentence is because there was guns found in the home, which anybody from the Northeast here knows you won't find them in many homes up in our mountains. No. Guns are, Yeah. So with that, the U.S. Attorney who was prosecuting the case, he stated they're criminals and they gotta be put away. Well, we're going well with you there. Congress is always trying to point the finger around what people should do. If you're on food stamps, you need some sort of public assistance. They have all these regulations now they want people to go through. Shouldn't they be getting more done for us in office? Maybe if we didn't pay them for not doing their job, instead of them taking money from us from not doing ours, things would get done around there. That's just a point of view. But speaking of things that are changing, Clay Aiken, oh yeah, the runner-up in American Idol 9, was it? Somewhere around there. He might have been earlier than that.
It was like number 4.
4. Thank you, John Rice. But he has become a candidate. He was on a Democratic nomination, I believe. He beat out Keith Crisco. He was the founder of a textile company, but apparently fell into a vat of oil and was killed. So, but either way, Clay's in, and all you Idol fans who are registered voters in North Carolina, there you go. Get a second chance to vote him in. Speaking of states you might want to live in, Utah has a state representative, Paul Ray, plans to introduce his proposal to bring back the firing squad for the death penalty. Yeah, no more faulty electric up there in Utah. Hell no. He thinks it's a humane way. And besides, they already have 5 police trained for just such a thing. You would think, how would they be trained? It had to be at least 100 years since they shot and killed someone. It was exactly 2010 is was the last time they had a firing squad kill an inmate. Yeah, very progressive out there. Now for another view of the world news, we keep bringing our own John Smarmy and his eye on the world. Smarmy?
Thanks, Dan. Hey, folks. Smarmy here. Another segment. Let's get to it. North Korea officials issue an apology. A rare apology. I didn't think North Korea apologized for anything. Tossing a newborn female baby in the trash is like Christmas over there. What are they apologizing for? You tell me, folks. Write it into questions. We're here all day. We got nothing else to do. Donald Sterling announces he didn't know that he was being recorded. Was he set up? We don't know. It's his fault for trusting a woman that's merged with 2 sneaky races. I'm not supposed to say that. But you know what I'm saying. Black and Mexican. Come on, folks. You be the judge. Fast food strike continues as it goes global. Over 150 cities are looking for better wages and work conditions. Why don't we all go on strike for that matter? Who doesn't want more money and better work conditions? You unemployed, drug addict, stoner, fast food workers. Of course, I'm stereotyping, not all of them. I'm pretty sure there's some intelligent fast food workers. Can Burger King please get my order right one time? What a part of 3 spicy chicken crisps don't you understand, you bastards? Yes, 3, same burger, get it right. Sorry, I like my spicy chicken crisp sandwiches. Have you ever tasted one? They're very delicious. The tartar sauce is too much, but Alright, enough of my spicy chicken crisp. We have news to get to, everybody. American Airlines flight from Boston to Miami was forced to turn around when passengers smelled something burning on the plane. What was it? It was burnt breadcrumbs. No, it wasn't the 400-pound woman between her legs sitting next to you on the flight. Folks, that's absolutely ridiculous. How is there a microwave on the plane? What do they got back there? Sofas, lazy boys? This is the pilot. That's how Aaliyah died. You remember Aaliyah from Try Again? She was hot. Died too young. That's right, Smarmy knows the hip-hop and R&B. Don't test me, damn it. I'll bust out some rhymes, but I can't. It's too professional. And finally, former reality star Spencer Pratt gets a degree. I guess when you're on a TV show for being famous and acting like a douche, you need the University of Phoenix Online College as a backup plan. And speaking of a backup plan, I should have been fired a long time ago for this. Dan, please exit me out of this before I say something to get me fired. John Smarmy, I'm only serious news.
Thank you, Smarmy. In sports tonight, a triple threat is on the horizon, folks, as California Chrome won the second leg of the Triple Crown races. This week they took the Preakness, and of course a few weeks back it was the Kentucky Derby. The last leg of the Triple Crown is the Belmont Stakes, which comes up June 7th, which should give jockey Edwin Espinoza plenty of time to get back over the border again, as he was deported immediately after this race. Not to worry, folks, because the same thing happened after the Kentucky Derby, and he made it back in time for this one. But this is the first tourist in the process of going for the Triple Crown since 10 years ago when Philly's own Smarty. Remember Smarty?
Yes.
Yeah, Smarty Jones. Smarty Jones, who is, by the way, banging his way to a great retirement right now. Getting paid lots of money for that. No doubt about it. Also in sports, locally, the 76 Sixers, whose owners own the Jersey Devils. They're about to be chosen, have the number picked out to see where they're going to choose in this year's NBA draft in the first round. Hope is that we get the first overall pick. And many people have been sending in different lucky items and pictures of lucky items for the team to take with them. No word yet, but my vote is with Daryl's Diamonds. Daryl's Diamonds, folks, which are pieces of the backboard that Daryl Dawkins broke when he was slam dunking back in his day. Yeah, he was the first one to kind of pioneer that stuff. Also, the Phillies, Cole Hamels won his 100th game this week. 100th game as a Philly. Not a bad job. Of course, the rest of the team sucks, but he did what he had to do. The Eagles draft picks had a weekend workout, and only time will tell where we go with them. But we look forward to a good season, starting off against the Jacksonville Jaguars. That's a win. Okay, next coming up, our very own Tony Viejo is going to be doing an interview with a man who's putting out a new album. Tony's got the information and bio on his band. Our guest will be Mike Belinsky with our very own Tony Viejo. Tony, Mike.
Thanks, Dan. All right, guys. Tony Viejo here with a special treat for you. That's right. Oh, yeah. You feel that? You feel that? That's Mike Belinsky right there. As you may know him as the man behind the great band Pagan. Mike, how you doing today?
Fantastic. How you doing, Tony?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm happy you're here by the studio. You know, that was a little weird, what we just did there. But, hey, power through it.
Hey, I finished.
I'm good. You enjoyed it?
I did.
Good.
And it's not about what you want, baby.
I know it's not about what I want, because that is not our relationship at all.
No, it's not.
It's not. So, I know you have a new album coming out.
That's true.
And when is this album dropping?
When I finish it.
When you finish it.
5 weeks after I finish it, because that's how long it takes the record company to get it to stores.
Okay. All right, but you are putting out new cuts, exclusive content.
Yeah, we've been putting out regular free downloads. We have a mix of the month that we're doing, where every month we give away a remix of a former track. And I put out 2 experimental noise recordings as free downloads. I wasn't high when I made those.
Where can your fans, or where can the ISO fans find this?
Probably the best way to find it would be the police lockup at the 8th District.
Okay, well, if they don't want to break into the police lockup, is there an easier format for them to get the music? Because let me tell you this way, in the age of file sharing, with everything going on with the internet right now, and the federal government and net neutrality laws, it might be easier to break into the 8th District. But right now, easiest way.
I'm not saying I ever broke into the 8th District, but I'm not saying I don't have a bunch of police tasers either.
This is very true.
Probably the easiest way to get it, because we all know you legally purchase your music, would be through iTunes or any legitimate music store like FYE or FYE.
And that's, but how do they get to the exclusive content?
There's FYE.
That's all that's left.
Yeah, no, that's it. The exclusive content that you can get for free, you can get off of the Bandcamp page, which I believe is officialpagan.bandcamp.com.
So you can check that out there. Now, another thing about Mike Belinsky and myself, other than the fact that next week on iOS we're going to have Bear Chat, so you'll be able to look forward to that. But also, I am one of the hosts of the Night Train Effect, with a bunch of the other comics that are on this program. This man right here is the producer and owner of Loud and Loaded Networks on Live 365.
That's true.
And we just achieved, well, you, not we.
No, we did it together.
We did it together.
I mean, I don't pay you.
I know.
But
I've been meaning to talk to you about that, but I don't feel like right now that's the time to do it.
Yeah.
But we've achieved the 500,000, the app.
Yeah, well, the app, the Live 365
app.
The Android version of the app has passed 500,000 downloads. So thank you, all you Android users.
Yes.
And of course, it's available for every phone, even if you have a Windows phone. Thank you, 5 Windows Phone users.
Yeah, what is with the Windows Phone?
Well, according to Live 365, they have a whopping 3% of the market share 2 years ago.
Wow.
So they're steamrolling along.
All right, well, we have some viewer questions for you because people found out that you were going to be here today. Ah, excellent. All right. Our viewers...
Okay. I was about to ask you, who specifically did these questions come from?
These questions came from our viewers, and this is Sandra Jenkins in Panama City Beach, Florida. She wants us to learn about your sack. So, Mike, tell us about your sack.
Well, I mean, I think it's a pretty traditional looking sack. Mm-hmm. It's not overly leathery looking.
Okay.
Not too hairy. I don't shave, but I trim.
All right.
So I only get really a lot of hair by the base of the sack.
Okay, excellent. Excellent. Steve Jennings from Missouri asked, and maybe he knows about this from the last time Pagan was on tour, but I don't know. Why a tranny?
Look, my rule with trannies is if she's convincing, I'm convinced.
That's a solid argument right there. And this is from some guy that calls himself the Kenzo Assassin.
I believe that's Kelly Toole from Snark Alex.
Okay, Kelly Toole from Snark Alex. Fine, there you go. How far can you get your finger into the hole of your dick?
See, I'm ashamed to admit that I've only recently started exploring my urethra as a
Okay.
Playboy. So I'm still on the pinky.
Okay.
But I'm proud to say
That's a pretty impressive pinky.
no, I have thick fingers,
That-
so
yeah.
I'm still on the pinky. But I'm proud to
I'm
say
intimidated.
second knuckle.
I'm intimidated
Second,
right now.
here, feel what this is
Oh
like.
my
Feel
god!
that. Feel that. Feel that.
Okay.
Try to milk your prostate again and tell me it's the same.
Back to you, Dan.
Thanks, Sonny. Thanks, Mike. Very good. Don't forget the band is Pagan. Pagan is the band. Tony's an atheist. Connection? We don't know. But coming up next for our enjoyment is our weekly review of the movies and things you might want to watch from our very own Darren Martinez, who, by the way, saw Godzilla today. Darren?
Yeah, I did see Godzilla. It was a very fun experience. And I had a lot of fun.
Was
So,
it a good story?
It was good.
It's setting up for us another one, you think?
Oh, that's my favorite thing about Godzilla, is that it's going to open up another world of new Godzilla villains, and hopefully they rehash some of the old guys. And there's going to be future films, so they just popped the cherry with this one. So hopefully they continue. It made $91 million this weekend, so that's good enough to greenlight a sequel. So I also recommend Gojira. It's going to be the first film I recommend you guys go check out this
Never
weekend.
heard that one.
It's the original, Japanese.
Is that right?
Yeah. The next film I want to recommend is next week, X-Men Days of Future Past comes out. So I'm going to go check that one out. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to
They
recommend...
join up or something, the new one, right?
What's that?
They join up or something?
Yeah, they all join up. They got like 1 million X-Men in this one. That's why I want to recommend you watch the original X-Men, so you can see how we progressed since this film. This came out, in 2000.
Wow.
This film came out in 2000, and you can see, in the past 14 years, how X-Men have progressed, and you can judge yourself if it's gotten better or if it's gotten worse.
No same people from this film or in the new one?
A lot of the people in this film are going to be in the next one. Some people might not return, and that might be the problem with this X-Men.
Because I saw the old dude from the first one. For the
Yeah.
bad dudes, he's in the new one.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
They're all gonna be
they
together.
all should make it. Right? You know what I mean?
it's going to be one mega movie. So anyway, 22 Jump Street is coming out. It's going to be the next comedy of the summer. So besides A Million Ways to Die in the West, which I'm also looking forward to. But I just purchased this DVD, so I want to recommend you guys go check out 21 Jump Street if you haven't seen it. I thought it was great. It was very
It's not a
funny.
musical?
No, not at all. But I think there was a couple musical numbers where they
TV
dance.
show or something? Wasn't
Yeah, it was based off a show with Johnny Depp.
Oh, yeah?
And I'm not going to say anything, but he helped produce it.
Did
So, yeah. Anyway, the last film I want to recommend you guys go check out, and this is because I found this in I found it for $1.50 in a bin. It's called Heartbeeps. I couldn't pass it up. Heartbeeps. If you haven't seen it,
Never.
it was probably shot in the 80s.
Yeah, that'd be Andy Kaufman. He's
Yeah.
dead, right?
It's about like two service robots, they're house servants, and they end up falling in love and they run off. I know it sounds stupid, but it's Andy Kaufman. So if you're
Bernadette Peters. He used to be
if
hot.
you're a big fan of his comedy and you like his sense of humor, you'll really enjoy this film. So other than that, that's all we got. X-Men, Back to the Future Past coming out next weekend. Hopefully they get Marty McFly. We'll see. Back to you. Dan.
There you go. Thank you, Darren. And a little add-on to that is the fact that the Billboard Music Awards, which are going to be broadcast as we're taping this show, is going to feature a Michael Jackson hologram, dancing one of his new songs, singing to it or something like that. And I don't know if Darren has any inside thing, or maybe Dave Ron later, but maybe hologram Tupac will show up if he's all recovered from that accident he had. But moving on to our gaming news, our very own John Rice gives us an update on what's latest in the gaming world. John.
How you guys doing? First of all, I want to talk about, I always wanted there to be a handheld Xbox. Like a little handheld portable Xbox, but I don't really see that coming along because no one was going to buy it. Nintendo owns that handheld video game world of theirs. But also there's the tablets and the phones and all that, so I don't really see that coming, so that's kind of a disappointment. But we do see something coming. It is the virtual reality head-mounted display from it's called the Oculus Rift, and also PlayStation's coming out with the Project Morpheus, which is some Matrix type. Don't take the red pill. Take the red pill. It'd be awesome. But seriously, it's if you're getting tired of the old school handheld video game or just playing video games like normal folks do, now you can have a face-mounting 3D virtual reality world of your own whatever. Upcoming games, lots of them for it. Date to be released, early 2015. I'm excited for the Doom 3, that might be cool. Other than that, I'm sticking with the normal handheld controller using TV. Other than that, but maybe you guys will check it out. Awesome. Back to you, Dan.
Thanks, Rice. Yeah, maybe we'll come out with that someday with the handheld thing. Maybe through your phone, on one of the cloud servers, you can tap into your Xbox at home. Who knows what to come up with? It's one of the things I found out. But yeah, I'm very proud to say that my son's partner graduated with honors from the Wharton School of Business, MBA, executive MBA degree. Very proud of him. But one of the things they did say there that made it stand out to me is the graduating class from 20 years ago have people running businesses that weren't even existent when they graduated from that program, because all the new technologies and stuff out now. So made me think. How'd you like that? Setting that up for our Mystic Minute and our very own Dave Ron Morrow, and we'll see what they're going to talk about this week. Dave Ron.
Thank you, Dan. Yes, I am your host, Dave Morrow. Welcome to the Mystic Minute. I have some interesting news regarding my upcoming Psychic Jiu-Jitsu tournament. You see, the tournament will no longer be taking place. It appears Pierre Lapierre has had his funding cut. The reason for that would be that some upstart journalist seems to have uncovered photos of Pierre Lapierre's illegal transsexual amphibioid sex slavery ring running out past Neptune. That's right, Pierre. There's not a thing that you can hide from me. Anywhere that you try to go will always be 3 or 4 steps ahead of you. And I'm gonna be 5. Ron, take it easy now. We won this round. We don't need to go off making threats on the internet. Let's save him for the astral plane. Back to you, Dan.
Thank you, Dave Ron Morrow. In fact, after the reception yesterday, I too was on the plane, the gastro plane. Yes. Very hard to fart in the crowd, let me tell you. Not very comfortable. Well, on our final segment tonight, we haven't had it here at iOS News in quite a while, so I'm sure many topics will be broached by our very own Tony Viejo and his misled thoughts. Tony?
Thanks, Dan. It's good to be back, guys. I haven't been here in a little bit, at least with the misled thought segment. But this week, I want to touch on a few topics. Like, for one, when you're in a state park going for a hike, and all of a sudden you're on the trail, and then you just see posted private property signs, blah, 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 can't do this, can't do that, don't you see the signs? Damn it, Tesla, I don't want to see the signs in the middle of the woods. I don't, alright? I'm out there hiking, enjoying nature. I don't want to see your signs telling me I'm in your freaking backyard. So what if I'm hanging out with your dog and treating it better than you ever did by playing fetch with it down by the river? That's not my problem. That's your freaking problem, because you live by the water and don't let your damn Labrador in the water to go after things. But I had fun with your Labrador. Sick and tired of this. Another thing I'm sick and tired of is people getting invaded with privacy. Now this Donald Sterling thing, one, it's a smart business move after all. I think he bought that team for like $12 million at one point in time, right? And now he has to forcibly sell it for $800 million. For shame. The guy's a billionaire and got fined, what, 1.5 million or 3.5 million? Some fraction of a fraction of his net worth. But guess what? He made a profit off that too. And now he's also going to make a profit amongst the white supremacy movement, probably, because they're going to put his face on t-shirts, and they're going to get behind that, and they're going to enjoy that. But the root of this is this. The guy was having a conversation on his phone. Granted, you being a business owner, you really shouldn't be saying those kind of things or having any of those thoughts or principles, but he said it on a private matter with whom he thought someone he could trust, and that trust was violated. That's a weird thing, and now us as the world get to hear and experience that. And that's the problem that we're in today, is we truly have no privacy. Think about that. Think about everything that you do, everything that you put out there. There's no privacy anymore. Everything is no longer camouflage. You can't hide. It's out there. So you got to pick and choose your words wisely. So you can't be a racist if you own a large business where you happen to have a lot of athletes who work for you and make you a lot of money, and you pay them a fraction upon that money, meanwhile making their team into a profitable team of $800 million over the course of a couple of years. But that's besides the point. The point of the matter is this. There's no more privacy. Just like I cannot play with your Labrador down by the river without you getting mad at me because your property's not fenced up. You just have signs up. Stamps are going up again. Back to you, Dan.
Thank you, Tony. And I agree, there is no privacy anymore. Well, that about wraps it up for us for this week. Thank you all out there for watching, sending in your comments, questions, and we enjoyed the viewer mail. Thanks for Mike for coming out, and good luck with the album. And thanks to everybody involved, Darren behind the camera, as well as with his entertainment news, Tony Viejo with his misled thoughts, Dave and Ron Morrow, the crazy twin brothers of another place and another time, Smarmy and his Eye on the World, and of course our very own John Rice, who wanted me to pass along this tip. If you need to quit smoking, the easiest way to do it is to get in a motorcycle accident and go into a coma for 7 weeks. Yeah, it's worked for him. That's about it for us tonight. Good night. Have a good week.